Working on this 79 Chevy with the Cummins swap. I got a 47 RH transmission in there. It used to have a 300 Chevy 300 or 350 transmission in there, and now it's longer, so I need to modify the drive shaft. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I took the measurements from here to there, so that's 55 inches long. And go to the welding table here. This is the Chevy drive shaft that came out of it. And I took some measurements. I slit this out all the way. Took my measurements, then I slide it all the way in. And take your measurements again, so you got two numbers there. So maximum length is 69.5, minimum is 66.5. So that means the average length needs to be 68 inches, or is 68 inches, sorry. I need 55 inches, so that means I need to cut 13 inches off this shaft. Can't do it on this end because, you know, the size difference, so we're going to have to do that on this end right here, and I'll show you how I normally do this. Done this several times before and had great success with it. So, well, enough yapping. Let's get into it. I'll be right back. Alright folks, back at you. FYI, I use a piece of angle iron to lay this thing in. It makes it real easy to turn this thing around. What I've done is I grind this weld down because, you know, was looking like that. Ground this weld flat. Don't go all the way. Just make it so it's nice and flat. Makes it easier to find the cut. Now, the next thing you want to do is grab a cutting blade and cut on off center toward the tube of the weld, because that's where the tube is sitting. This is an insert, so we'll get to that right now, and I'll be back in a minute. I almost forgot, before you can cut this completely off, you got to find the center, because you want to make sure that yoke is going to line right up. So use a magnet, string, come to this other end, use string again. That tells you where the center of the yoke is, just about, so that way when you do cut this off, you can line it all back up again, because you want to make sure that that is just right. I need to cut off, as it states, 13 inches, so grab a tape measure. 13 inches is about right there, so I'll make sure that my line is going to be long enough. So I got my lines here. I'm going to grab a straight edge and line it up. See if I can do this with one hand. Get the string out of here. Try and do this with one hand, folks. Hold on. There you go. So that will give you the center of your yoke on both sides. All right, now we're going to cut this right here, and I'll be right back. We're back at it. As you can tell, I made the cut here. One thing you want to make sure is you don't cut too deep. As you can tell, we're definitely, because these tubes are not really all that thick, so we don't want to cut too deep, because then you start cutting into this piece here. So as you can tell, if you look down there, come on, focus. Can't get it to focus, guys. Come on, focus. There we go. As you can tell, right there in that groove, we're a little deeper than what the sleeve is. You want to keep that in mind. So now you should just have a hammer and give it a good whack, and it should pop right out. I'll be right back. Alright folks, back at you. I had to grind it out a little wider, so I grabbed one of my older grinding discs, made the groove a little wider, and now you can tell when I was giving it a whack, it's starting to come apart. I use a rubber mallet for that. As you can tell, you can see it starting to separate. I'll roll it around a bit. Let's give the other side a good whack. Sorry about that. I need 2 hands for this. I'll be right back. Well, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. This one here is pretty stubborn, so right now I'm using this hammer here and the chisel and trying to punch it out that way. She's really snug in there, but she's breaking loose. She's coming out. So as soon as you get that done, I'll get back with you. All right, there she is. There's the pipe. Here's the end. We got her off. Now we can cut a chunk off. .13" and then we can start welding her back up. All right, folks, I'll be right back with you. All right, getting her set up in bandsaw. I measured off 13 inches. Use a level to make sure that it's flush in there. So it looks pretty good, as you can tell. Maybe it can come up just a little bit, but anyway, you get the gist of it. That way you know for sure she's flush in there, and we'll start cutting her off, and I'll be back at you. Alright, I got my magnet and my string back on there next to the line, because that's how I marked it. On center of the yoke. Looks like she's straight. Now we can hammer this all the way in, and I clean it up a little bit here with a flapper disc. Don't go too heavy on it, because the wall is actually pretty thin. It's like 1/8" steel, so there's not that much there. So just a light scuffing, so it's clean for welding. Tap her in there, and then we're going to get the welder set up, and we'll get her burned in. I'll be right back at you. All right, folks, back at you here. Put in a couple tack welds. You gotta make sure she's straight. I just lay it across the table and make sure she's in good shape. And at each yoke, I'll give it a tack weld. So there's 4 of them on there, and I'm gonna weld her up solid now. And then that's gonna be it. That's all there's to it. All right, I'll be right back with you. Let me finish this up, and I'll show you the end product. All right, folks, back at you. Got her all welded up, all pretty and the like. So should fit in the truck now. So, all right, folks. Please like and subscribe. Don't cost nothing. Helps the channel out a lot, and we'll keep the videos coming. All right, folks. Peace out.